Hey guys, so today in this video we're going to talk about the Qubic team and the people who are behind Qubic, and just try to give you an idea of some of the people and minds that are working on this and some of the ideas that are in place. So I think this video is going to be exciting and educational for you all, including me. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so if you go to qubic.org, the Qubic website, up at the top, I think it just says something like learn. And if you click that drop down, you'll see team or something like that, or meet team or something like that. I'm brought to a page with probably 30, 40, 50 people on it. And from there, then you can go and click in on various links and learn a lot about the team. Generally, you'll see their X link. You'll see then this, which is their GitHub link, and then you'll see their LinkedIn link if they have that. And then, as you can see, most of the team is doxed. There are a few mysterious members here, like Folylicious and Cryptdro, that both work on STECO, the steering committee. You can only find them on X, and they're not actually doxed, but generally the team is doxed. And why that's important is it's very unlikely that this is a scam. You have a guy here come from beyond who's been in the crypto industry for has been in the online industry and crypto industry since inception of around 2009, but they've been around online for over 20 years. So it's unlikely that a lot of these people would, go and, you check out their LinkedIn. They've got LinkedIn pages that, are 10 years old or whatever. So it's unlikely it's a scam is basically what I'm trying to say. You never know, do you? But this is probably as unlikely to be a scam as you get. So I'm just going to look. I couldn't pick out all the members that are here, but I'm just going to pick out some of them. And bearing in mind, this is a team that they're just adding to constantly now and building out. So it's exciting to see what's going on. So the first person here is Hjum. And Hjum, just for an example of how you can click on people's GitHubs, and I'm not a technical person, but you can see a lot of information on what they've worked on and their repositories here, and then you can see in their experience, they're working on Qubic for almost 2 years now, and then there's been a software architect and consultant. I believe that's probably for their own company. For 16 years, nearly 17 years, they were working on that. And then a teacher of application engineering, and they were doing that for 6 years and 6 months. And then you can go in on LinkedIn and see their education and see, I think they're bachelor degree educated. And then if we look here, and I'm going to struggle to pronounce this lady's name, but her name is Rea Stern and Susher, I think is how you pronounce her name. She's a core developer, and she's come from Google to Qubic. And some of her career highlights: she's worked on augmented reality, virtual reality, computer vision, and AI. She worked for Google for 4 years. Previously worked for Meta. Now she worked for Meta in an internship role, but still, she was working with Meta. She's numerous awards for her work, and she was a researcher then at Stanford University. Now she took some of her research work from Meta to Stanford University, but she's I think master's educated, possibly. Yeah, actually, no, what am I saying? PhD educated. She's a doctor, and she's only recently been added to the team. So you're seeing the sort of people that they're adding right now to the team. Then this guy, again, these names are tough for me, but Bill Schreckenstein joins the Qubic Grant Program Committee. So Bill has joined the Qubic Grants Committee and brings with him a wealth of experience. Bill's previous work includes leading app development for Filecoin. Now that's a big deal, app development on Filecoin. That's, a really top project, and that's where Bill is coming from, that he led that app development area of Filecoin and launching its own stealth setup. Bill believes we're at a crucial juncture for Web3 and had this to say, and you can read that yourself. But what's really interesting is, Filecoin isn't. I don't really want to talk about Filecoin, because Filecoin's a great project in itself, and I don't know that project in detail, so I don't want to say anything about it. But what I do know about Qubic is that Qubic is really, really strong position to have a lot of small, medium businesses growing on it, and then large businesses growing on it. a lot of room for app development on it, but it just hasn't got those developers happening. So they're hiring someone like Bill here to start working with the grants program committee to actually get some top projects building on Qubic. And only time will tell how that goes, but it sounds really promising. So let's see how that plays out. But it's a really clever addition to the team, and it's just all about ecosystem growth. This hire, and again, I want to kind of highlight as well, when you're wondering who is hiring these people, this has all got to do with a recent proposal that went through the quorum and was voted on by all the miners in the community, and they recommended, or they voted that 8% of all emissions, so of those trillion cubic that are emitted every month, 8% is now going towards people who are going to join the Qubic ecosystem and work for Qubic. So they're hired in a decentralized manner, and they're getting paid in Qubic from those emissions. Now, what is exciting about that is obviously they could go and just sell those Qubic like some miners might, but also a lot of these are probably seeing it like shares in a company that if they can work and grow Qubic in a big way, they can increase their profits on that Qubic that they're getting paid with. So that's kind of exciting. So then we've got Leslie Kivett, and I think this person is called Talent Nodes on X, and you see them named on the team's Talent Nodes. But Leslie is, hands-on people and talent leader with 15 plus years experience championing organizational excellence in startups and scale-ups, collaborating with giants like Rocket, Internet, Booking.com, Meta, Example Bank, proven expertise in talent acquisition, leadership development, employee engagement, so on. He's also a co-founder of WordBlocks, a decentralized community-led platform that indexes how talent around the globe thinks about company culture, compensation, jobs, skills in real time. And then he's a passion for learning about org design, DAOs, fintech startups, HR innovation, and all that in L1s. And I don't think this has been updated recently because I don't see much information about this guy on Qubic at the moment. But he's an interesting guy. And then we've got Alberto Fernandez, who is the representative for ecosystem growth in Europe, as far as I know now, with Qubic. And he worked with Systec Solutions Limited for 9 years and 3 months as a blockchain engineer and a blockchain consultant, a DApp developer, a fintech specialist, founder, a middleware expert. And then previously for that, he worked for a company called Julerida for 4 years and 5 months as a software engineer and business developer. And then he worked as an integration architect years before that for another company that he co-founded. I think that's what that's saying there. So yet again, just another really interesting, serious person that's got a long history in not just the blockchain and crypto industry, but just in app development and software engineering. Next up, we have Eric Fung, one of my favorite people on X at the moment, really worth following. He gives lots of great information about Qubic, and he's also just a great poster of what's going on and what he's working on. And he's the APAC, so kind of the head of growth in Asia. I think in South America as well. I could be right in saying that. I think that's what APAC stands for as well. But in Asia anyway, he's a growth lead, and that's what he's working on at the moment with Qubic. Been there for 6 months. Then he founded a company called Globalify, and he's the chief executive officer there and the chief operations officer. And then he was the chief strategy officer with Newchick Capital Family Offices. So again, a young guy with a lot of promise and a really good speaker and representative for Qubic. And then we've got Dr. Karen Lorz, and she's the legal counsel that's recently been hired with Qubic. And as it says here, they're pleased to announce that she's joined the team. And Karen is a pioneering legal expert with over 15 years of experience in financial markets, cryptocurrency, and blockchain regulation. And she's also lectures at the University of Zurich. And she's working on helping create a legal entity for Qubic that they can then start actually selling computing power to companies all over the world for a profit. And then for that profit, they're going to, apparently this is the plan, is they're going to buy up Qubic, try and pump the price of Qubic higher to gather more mining power that they can direct towards Agar. So that's a really, really interesting hire to the team. Again, time's only going to tell how this is going to play out. But again, it just shows that Qubic is serious. That this guy is a big deal. A little bit harder to find information on, actually, but if you're on, if you can use GitHub and things like that and understand technical research papers, this guy is a big deal to look up. He is Dr. Philip Wner, and he, as far as I know, is the lead developer on Qubic right now. Obviously, Sergey Ivancheglo is the lead developer, but I think Ivancheglo is mainly focused now on Agart, really. So he's, this guy's more focused on Qubic in general. As we can see, he's been a visiting research scientist with MIT Media Lab. He's he's a freelance worker. He's self-employed, basically machine learning engineer, software developer. In the Otto von Guericke University in Magdeburg. God, I don't know. I'm probably just butchering so many of these names. He's a PhD in applications, computer vision, and machine learning. So this guy is a big deal to have on the team as well. Then we've got David. I don't know, is this a Dr. David Fanos? I've heard people refer to him as that, and I might have in the past. But actually, when I look at his LinkedIn, I don't see that he is a doctor, but maybe it's there somewhere. But anyway, this guy is a big deal, has a huge following. So he's really, really into AI and what's going on there. So, teaching machines, advising human CEOs, building neurotechnologies, opening events beyond AI, and then he's got books, The End of Knowledge and Automate or Be Automated. And then he's CEO of his company since 1995, which is mindbigdata.com. And then he is an independent advisor in data science, artificial intelligence, and corporate strategy. And this guy right now is working on writing scientific papers about Qubic and the developments that Qubic is finding and working on. He's not doing any work specifically on Qubic, as far as I know, but he's writing those scientific papers. And this is a big deal, because this guy, running his own company for 15 years or whatever, as this CEO, or since 1995, I think 5 times the CEO, and working on this company for the last 10 years, this guy isn't going to be risking his name or just wasting his time researching Qubic if there isn't something that he knows is happening there that he's writing a scientific paper on right now. Again, time's only going to tell how that's going to turn out, but he obviously believes there's something worth writing a paper on, which makes you think that Agart might be way more real than any of us think right now. And then also, there's Dr. Jose Sanchez, and this is an issue on the Qubic website because I can't access his LinkedIn, and then I looked for him on LinkedIn, I couldn't find him, but I've heard the guy talking. I know he's real. I'm pretty sure I've been on his website before, but I can't remember when. While I was making this slideshow, I was just like, oh, feck it, if I can't get to his LinkedIn, I'm not going to go searching for his information. But basically, he's doing the exact same job as David Fanos, and he's as big of a deal as David is. Let's just put it that way. And then, I could go through all the other people that are working. They're basically along the same lines of developers with bachelor's degrees, with 10 years experience, kind of around that sort of thing. You can check them all out in the Qubic.org website yourself if you want. I'd just be getting repetitive if I go through all of them that are there. One other hire that's worth talking about is a hire of this agency called Serotonin. And Serotonin, again, is a big deal, and they're going to work on all the marketing going forward for Qubic. And they're one of the leading marketing agencies in Web3 with clients such as Arbitrum, Optimism, and Layer Zero, and they're working with Qubic now. The lady that's the CEO of Serotonin, she previously has worked in some respect with Ethereum, I'm pretty sure, as well. So she's a big deal, and Qubic working with these guys is a big deal. And towards the end of the year and during next year, you're going to see their marketing strategy come into place more and more. So that's a big deal. And then, of course, we end with, in my opinion, one of the most disrespected people in all of crypto. I'm not saying this isn't a flawed guy, but just people seem to write off his accomplishments. And this is Sergey Ivancheglo, the creator of Qubic. And you got to look into this guy. He winds people up. He annoys people a lot, but he has a good vision for the future, I think, and he really wants to create an AGI that will make a better world. It's the gathering that I've got from him. He created Qubic specifically right at the start and made it anti-military. So any developments for Qubic are under the anti-military agreement or whatever it's called, so it can't be used for military purposes. He did that before Qubic was even really a thing, because he obviously believes that he's going to create an AGI that is going to be so powerful that could be used for really nefarious purposes. That's an interesting thing. He was also the third person, as far as I know, to mine Bitcoin. Then he went on to create NXT, which was the first crypto that wasn't a just direct clone of Bitcoin. It was the first proof of stake blockchain. This is one of the most cited projects in all the white papers of projects you'll find out there. Then he went on to create IOTA, which was an Internet of Things crypto based on the Tangle system. Was meant to be super scalable. Still is a project that's in existence, but the goal was to be super scalable and connect the whole Internet of Things. And it was the first implementation of a DAG project. So this guy, two major developments in crypto have come from him or been worked on directly by him, and he's worked on loads of other things. So he's just a gigabrain sort of guy. NXT, he moved on from because I guess he took it as far as he felt he could. A lot of copycats came out of NXT that were improvements, I guess, or equal, but had better marketing, I guess. And he wanted to move on to the next big thing, because I don't think he saw NXT as the next big thing. Now, a lot of people are just developing their proof of stake. They're creating things that aren't even close to a proof of stake project. But then a lot of other top projects out there are creating just proof of stake projects now. But I think Sergey Ivancheglo, from what I gather from him, he thinks that's boring. He thinks anything that's just trying to be money, just like a Bitcoin clone, in terms of a slight improvement, is boring. He sees a way bigger picture for crypto, and that's why he moved on to IOTA, developed the DAG, and wanted something that connected all Internet of Things. He fell out with the IOTA team. Since then, IOTA has actually formed terribly. Both NXT and IOTA, by the way, pumped like crazy. Some of the highest returns ever in crypto came from both those projects. They've since dumped quite a bit, and that's why people have a go with Sergey Ivancheglo or don't like him. But most projects dumped like that after initial pumps. And then another thing that people don't like about him is that he's moved on from project to project. But I think that's a really good thing. I think a lot of people in the crypto industry, they just get stuck in one project. They don't learn from their mistakes. They get financially connected to that project. But he's had the guts to move on and create improved projects over time. Qubic, originally, he was going to build that on top of IOTA and try and turn IOTA into it. But there was too many issues with the team there, so he went on and created Qubic by himself. He's been talking about Qubic for about 12 years now. He's been talking about useful proof of work, not by name, but the idea and concept for over 20 years. And he feel, from what he's saying, only now has technology caught up that he can produce something like Qubic. So this guy is the biggest deal of all of them. So this is still a really early stage project, but you can see the team that's building around this project already is a big deal. And I mean, it's a 200 million market cap. If you don't see the potential for this project to at least, hit back to its all-time high of 1 billion, but, to go up to 5 billion or 10 billion. If you don't see that potential, I don't know what to say to you. I'm not saying that we'll hit those levels, but I'm saying the potential is so obviously there. Like, this isn't like other projects that are around that 200 million mark. And if you, the more you look into it, watching my videos or check it out next, or even visiting their website and see how unique this project is, and if it, in any way delivers on the AI technology it's trying to deliver on, I mean, this project's eventually going to blow up, and it's a big deal, but only time will tell. I don't know what's going to happen, but I think it's just a great, if you're to buy Qubic right now, or anywhere up to, under $1 billion market cap, like, it just has to be considered a really, really good bet and on an investment. After that, who knows? That's all I've got for you today, guys. I'll see you all on the out.